In this video I'm going to introduce you to Photoshop, and this is perfect for people who've never used Photoshop before, but if you have used Photoshop before, there might also be some areas where you might learn some new stuff. It's a rather unique introduction and it throws you right into the deep end, and the task itself, the task that I'll ask you to complete, will actually encourage you to experiment with the the fundamental Photoshop tools, and by doing this you will actually learn how to use Photoshop. Also, it's going to be quite a creative process, and you'll learn to explore the aesthetic relationships between objects in a digital environment, and at the end of the task you will produce an artwork that is original and unique to you. So the first thing you're going to need to do is actually download the file that goes with this video. Now there'll either be a link to the file below in the comments, or you would have downloaded it through Canvas. All right, but once you've downloaded it, you'll see it on the left here, and also you'll notice that it says PSD. It's a Photoshop file. All right, no other application program is going to open this file, so when you double click on this, it's going to open this file up in Photoshop itself. So let's do that now. Okay, and there you have the file. All right, so it's opened it automatically. You can worry about saving the file and everything later on. All right, the important thing is let's just get into Photoshop itself and start being creative. Okay, so first up I'm going to explain the basic layout of Photoshop. All right, so on the top here we have our basic and usual main menu items, and we will be dipping into those as we move through this tutorial. On the left hand side we have our tools palette, and this has all of your brushes and magnifying glasses and all your mark making tools that you're going to need already there. And on the right here you've got your layers palette down the bottom here, so this is very important. All right, and on the top here you have your color and swatches palette. Now also, if it's the first time you've opened a file in Photoshop, you have these extra menus. All right, now I like to get rid of them. All right, they just take up unwanted space. So if you just click where it says learn there, if you click on that with your mouse and drag it just into the screen there, then a little X appears, and then you can just hit the X and that disappears. All right, and we'll do the same with libraries. There you go, we've got a much nicer working environment. Okay, so the things that we're going to look at today are, we're going to learn how to move layers, move objects on your page. We're going to learn how to resize them. We're going to learn how to rotate them. We're going to learn how to order them. We're also going to learn how to alter the layer opacity, that's the thickness or transparency, if you like, of individual layers. We're going to learn how to duplicate layers, and we're going to learn how we can change our background color. All right, so first up we're actually going to move these objects around. Now for this you're going to need your move tool. All right, move tool allows you to move stuff. All right, and that's the very top left tool. So you select that, and then you'll find, look, if you click in an object you'll be able to move it. All right, now you can select each individual item here because auto select is automatically on. All right, and I'd just like you to leave it on that, and it makes the life a little bit easier. Now what I want you to do is I want you to arrange your objects in a creative way, so in an aesthetically pleasing manner. So take just a couple of minutes, well, a couple of moments, just to arrange these objects in a way that you think is aesthetically pleasing. All right, so this is about exploring a relationship between these objects. Okay, now once you're happy with the way these look, then we're going to learn to export it. All right, now when I talk about export it, this is about taking what we've created and translating it into a more usable file format. In this case, it's going to be a JPEG, and this is something that you'll be able to share on social media and is something that you can easily store. All right, and this is quite separate to your original Photoshop file. So once you're happy with your arrangement of objects on your page, I want you to go to File on the top menu, and I want you to go to Export, and then go across here to Export As. Okay, just let it catch up. Okay, now before you do anything, the first thing you need to do is just change this format on the top right hand side to JPEG. All right, just like so. All right, and then all you need to do is click Export All. All right, and then it'll ask you to save it. So I'm going to put this on the desktop, and I'm going to call this Vasily 1. Vasily 1. All right, I'm going to go 01 actually, because I might create more than 10. All right, Vasily 1 01, and then click Save. Okay. Okay, so well done for that. So that's our first creative bit of output in Photoshop. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to resize elements within on this page. All right, so again, you move your objects around and you can decide which one you want to be larger. All right, we're going to change the size of. All right, and I'm going to change the size of this blue flower here. All right, and we're going to do that by going to Edit on the top menu, and we're going to choose Free Transform. You will see that the object you want to resize now has a line around it, and on that line there's some little handles. All right, now I want you to resize this object just by dragging the corners. All right, don't drag here or here, just drag the corners. All right, and look, you can make it as big or as small as you want. All right, so I'm going to make it really big, and I'm going to pull it right into this corner here. There you go, and do something like that with it. Okay, now you click the tick mark. All right, and the tick mark confirms the size that you want it. All right, or you can hit Enter on your keyboard. Okay, and you can see how it's confirming it. It's stopped being pixelated as well, because it's pixelated, isn't it, when you resize it. And now you can rearrange your objects in a way that again is aesthetically pleasing, or you feel works together. All right, so arrange them in an aesthetically pleasing way that looks good to you. All right, don't care what anyone else thinks, what looks good to you. And when you're happy with that, go to File, go to Export, go to Export As. Okay, the format should have stayed on JPEG, so all we need to do now is go Export All, click on Desktop, and we're going to call this Vasily 1 02. Save. The next thing that we're going to do is we're now going to learn how to rotate one of our objects. And it's dead easy because it uses exactly the same tools we used before. Okay, so this time I'm going to rotate the pizza slice, I think. So I'm going to click on it. All right, just so it's selected. All right, and you know it's selected because I can move it around. Okay, and I'm going to go again to edit and free transform. Okay, so we knew before that if we pulled on the corner handles like that, that it resized it. Now, if we hover just beyond the corner handle, look just there, can you see how the little arrows turn to that little kind of round the corner symbol, if you like, 2 arrows, one pointing left, one pointing right, one pointing down. Now, when it does that, if then you then click, you'll see that you can rotate your object or pizza slice. All right, and again, you can rotate it and move it to wherever you want. And of course, you could always resize it a bit as well, couldn't you? Look, you could resize it and move it. All right, and then when we're happy with it, yeah, then we hit the tick button at the top of our window. All right, and then once again, look, we can move our objects around. Oh, yeah, we can move our objects around so that they're aesthetically pleasing in some way. I might just completely move everything around here. There you go, let's point into the corner there. Okay, so when we're happy with that, again, you know the score. So we go to File, Export, Export As. JPEG's already set in the corner. Then click Export All. All right, and this is going to be Vasily 03. And save. Okay, so the next step is we're going to look at layer order. Now you can see here that the blue flower sits behind the red bus and the pizza slice, and it may be that we want the bus to sit behind the flower. Okay, and to do this, it's very easy. We just alter the layer order, and you can see here's our layers palette, and you can see that the yellow pizza slice is on top. So if we click on pizza slice, look, that sits on top of the bus. The red bus sits on top of the blue flower. All right, so the top one is the top one on the canvas. All right, now if I wanted to bring the blue flower above the red bus, all I would do is I'd alter that order. So I'm just going to grab the layer, I'm just going to lift it up until there's a little double blue line there just above the red bus, and there you go, it sits in front of the red bus. All right, so have a little bit of a play with that and then alter it until you come up with some kind of pleasing aesthetic arrangement. Okay, a slightly different one, and you can use all the skills you've gained up to this point to rearrange your objects, all right, into something that you think is aesthetically, well, just works aesthetically. And then of course, and you should be getting good at this by now, so File, Export, File, sorry, Export, Export As, and then we just check that, it says JPEG, and then Export All, and this is going to be Vasily 1 on the desktop 04. Save.